Hey guys, so for your quiz on Wednesday this week, it's a living things quiz. So the main idea for the quiz is that if it's a living thing, it's made of cells, whether it's one cell like bacteria or amoebas or paramecia, or many cells like you and me, or cats or dogs or turtles or fish. If it's made of cells, it's a living thing. If it's not made of cells, it's a non-living thing. So some examples of non-living things would be like hair, fibers, salt, rocks, stuff like that. It's not made of cells, so those are non-living things. And as part of your quiz, you're going to have an unlabeled microscope slide, and you're going to have to look at it and figure out if it's living or non-living. When you're figuring out if it's living or non-living, you are looking for cells, and if you see any cells, you know that it's a living thing, okay? So I'm going to show you how to use the microscope in just a second. You should all know how, but this is just a review for you. First of all, though, let me tell you one more thing. So unicellular organisms, that means that they're made of one cell, like bacteria and amoebas. If it's multicellular, it's made of more than one cell, like you and me. We're made of trillions of cells, okay? All right, so just as a review for how to use the microscope, here we've got our microscope. You're going to have an unlabeled slide that you're going to need to put on there. Remember to push on the back of the stage clips to lift them up so you don't damage the slide. Adjust your slide under there so that the specimen is about in the middle of the dot there. Remember, you should always start on the lowest power objective. That's the shortest one. The longer it is, the higher power it is. But we always start on the lowest power objective, okay? We also start with the stage all the way down to the bottom and use the coarse adjustment knob for that, okay? Then you need to turn on the light source, okay? You look through the eyepiece, and then you use the coarse adjustment knob to get it into focus. Now, the coarse adjustment knob moves the stage really fast. So once it's mostly in focus, and I need to adjust my specimen, it's a little bit off center, okay. So once it's mostly in focus, then you can switch to the fine adjustment knob and get it like fine tune the focus, make sure it's really clear. So now I can see my hemp really clearly. Now, if you can't see your specimen very well, like if it's too dark, you might need to adjust the diaphragm. That's this dial on the front. And if it's a higher number, like 4 or 5, that means it's letting more light in from the light source, okay? So you might need to adjust that if it's too dark. Now, once I've looked at my specimen on low power, then I can change it to a higher power objective. I would look from the side to make sure I'm not going to ram the objective into the stage, and then I would shift it to a higher power objective, okay? If you're halfway between objectives, it's not going to show anything, so make sure you let it click so that the objective is in place, okay? When you're all the way done, you turn it back to the low power objective, lower the stage all the way down with the coarse adjustment knob, turn off the light source, remove the slide from the stage, and then you would bring the slide back to me, okay? And remember, what you're looking for when you're looking through the microscope is if you see cells, it's living. If you don't see cells, it's non-living. And if you need practice with that, I'm going to post a PowerPoint on Canvas Calendar, the same place where this video is, so you can get some ideas of what it looks like if it's living versus if it's non-living. If you see cells, usually you'll see compartments. You might see little black dots, which are the nuclei. You might see little bubbles. Those bubbles are the cells, right? If it's a non-living thing, you'll probably see a lot of the non-living samples we have are fibers or hairs, stuff like that. Then it'll be stringy. There won't be any compartments or nuclei, little dots. So that's how you know it's a non-living thing, okay? So good luck on the quiz, and ask me if you have any more questions.